The 2xKO closed beta has been out for more than 2 weeks now, and while many have great things to say about it, there are still those who feel it has a lot to work on. So today, let's look at the pros and cons to get a clearer picture of how 2xKO is doing. One of the biggest complaints before the beta pertained to the starting roster. It launched with a total of 9 characters, which many felt was pretty small. Additionally, only 6 were available to play online. The other 3 had to be unlocked by playing the game. Personally, I didn't think this was a problem. As a free game that was starting as a beta, this seemed fair. Plus, to be honest, Echo and Vi are 2 of my favorite League of Legends champs. They were both part of the starting roster, so I already had the characters I wanted to play. However, now that I've logged a ton of hours into this game, I could understand the plight of those who wanted more characters. The small roster has led me to encounter many of the same characters. Like, I think I've seen enough Blitz and Alawi for 2 lifetimes. Additionally, some players don't really have a character they're into. A variety of closed beta players have spoken out about how they're having a good time, but they're waiting on more champs so they can find someone they really like. For what it is, I think the team did a decent job in giving us a variety of playstyles to try, but more unique characters like Zac, Udyr, and Zoe could have done wonders. Thankfully, this is a minor problem that I believe can be fixed with time. League has an abundance of colorful champs that can be added. Even though many who are playing 2xKO have never touched League in their lives, their designs as well as gameplay will be enough to draw folks in. It could even have an arcane effect, where more folks become interested in the lore of the characters. So far, Teemo is the only champ we know of who's joining the roster, and if his playstyle is anything like in League, he'll definitely be a breath of fresh air. But enough about characters. What about the actual gameplay? Well, I'm happy to say that 2xKO is extremely fun. Movement feels good, the moves look cool as hell, and the best part is that each character still matches the vibe they have in League. Vi is a pressure-heavy fighter in the MOBA, so it makes sense that she's just as pressure-heavy as a rushdown character in this game. They even brought over moves like her Vault Breaker. Meanwhile, Alawi's tentacles are just as annoying as they are in League. You can tell the team worked very hard to make sure they transferred each character's nuances properly. What makes this even better is how accessible everything is. With pulse combos, the game's built-in auto combos, even folks who never played a fighting game can hop in and enjoy the chaos. But if you'd rather sit down and learn everything your characters have to offer in training mode, you can do that too. Plus, with the use of directional inputs, executing combos manually is pretty easy compared to other fighters like Street Fighter 6. Along with that, the tag system is very unique and intuitive. You can choose among certain fuses that decide how your team works. For example, the freestyle fuse allows you to tag twice in one sequence, giving you the chance to really mix your opponent and deal some crazy combo damage. Then there's Juggernaut, which lets you fight as one superpowered character. All this gives the game a very low barrier to entry. However, the mass amount of mechanics like the different fuses, defensive options, and so on makes the skill ceiling sky high. Now, this aspect of the game is both a good and a bad thing. The ease of everything makes 2xKO beginner friendly, but it also opens the door to even more complexities. Since the closed beta launch, X has been bombarded with insane combo and tech videos, and each one shows that the main limiter in this game is your creativity and timing. This can be very overwhelming for new players, especially if their goal is to improve and climb in ranked. Hell, I play a decent amount of fighting games, and even I'm a bit overwhelmed by how much I have to practice. Folks are already coming up with touch of death combos, while I'm just trying to survive. However, I'd argue that this is only a problem when you make it one. Though there are a lot of complex combos, there are also very simple ones that achieve similar outcomes. For example, one of the toughest things for me to land is Vi's Electrics. By charging her command dash uppercut move, she's able to land some pretty sick combos that can take the opponent to the corner. I spent hours trying to nail the timing, and though I managed to get it a few times, it just didn't feel reliable enough to use in matches. So I opted for a simpler B&B that still carries the opponent pretty far and does decent damage. This, along with the pulse combos, gives players the room to enjoy the game at their own pace. Instead of immediately jumping into the most optimal combos and Oki setups, you can start as small as you want and grow from there. The fuses aid in this as well. For those new to tag fighters, you can start with the Juggernaut fuse to only focus on one character. Then you could build to the Sidekick fuse, which allows you to use your assist in special ways at the cost of not being able to tag into them. Speaking of, how about the 2-player tag team experience? When the devs first announced that they would allow 2 different people to be part of one team, I got excited, but a little apprehensive. How would they make it so both players feel like they're contributing? Well, I'm glad to say that 2xKO with a friend is way more fun than I expected. There is something oh so satisfying about throwing an assist at just the right time to either protect your teammate or extend their pressure. It truly makes each win feel like a group effort. When it comes to the overall feel of online play, the title once again didn't miss a beat. Outside of the occasional lag spike here and there, the majority of my matches have felt very smooth. However, some work can be done on how matchmaking is set up. especially in the newly released rank mode. I, along with many other players, climbed pretty quickly. It took me about an hour to hit platinum, and I definitely went against some people who were under my level during the climb. Meanwhile, others hit the highest rank in a couple of hours, which is pretty insane. I'm sure this will be fixed as more players try the game. However, as it is now, rank is a little too easy. So all in all, what does this tell us about Riot's newest tag fighter? Well, I think it shows that 2xKO is a solid first step. It's fun and easy to learn. However, it could definitely use some work. The main aspect killing it for me is a lack of content in terms of characters, skins, and the like. But this is still a free closed beta, and I know that more content will come in due time. In fact, we recently got an announcement on when we can expect new content. On September 23rd, the 2xKO team released a video talking about what's next for the game. They revealed that the closed beta will end on October 7th, but early access will begin on the same day on PC. No invite will be needed to participate. This will be the first full-featured version of the game, and will include a battle pass, combo trials to better master each character, skins, and more. The next champ, who I'm assuming is Teemo, will drop along with early access. From there, they plan to release one character each season. Since there will be 5 seasons per year, that's 5 new characters annually. While this sounds great, I do worry about this pace during the early phase of the game. It'll take some time to build up the roster, but with early access on the way, we'll soon be able to experience the full 2xKO package. I hope their solid first step leads to an amazing fighting game that sticks with us for years. For now, let us know how you feel about 2xKO in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching and happy gaming.